Welcome to East Lansing, Michigan, Spartan Stadium and home of the Michigan State Spartans. As we wind our way toward the end of another college football season, one of the grand traditions is paying tribute and respect to those who have just poured their souls into the success of this program and honor the seniors on Senior Day. As we'll see the number 20 team in the country, the Michigan Wolverines, taking on the winners of 3 straight, the Michigan State Spartans. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. Will get us underway with the opening kickoff. From inside the 10, here he comes. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. So Michigan's offense will start this game off. A state divided. They started playing for the Paul Bunyan Trophy, the big wooden lumberjack, back in the early 50s when Sparty joined the Big Ten.
And it's so nice to have you, Reese, to have all those data from when you were in high school and when you were in college back in the 50s. And you know the records so well of these games, but it matters. And their comments fly week to week for these guys, Michigan State, and it is intense, and the hatred runs deep.
Can you just imagine Reese riding to school in his Ford Model T back in the day? How nice that would have been, just putting along, getting to school, making sure all his homework's done, just looking like the man on campus. I'll tell you, there's a lot of familiarity in this game. A lot of these high school players grew up playing with or against each other, so it just adds an extra layer to this rivalry.
The Wolverines decide to punt it away. Getting our first look of the afternoon at the punter. That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. So Michigan State's offense will try to get something started with their first possession. And David, we'll see just how effective they can be on the ground running against a backer like this.
But they're going to do what they do, and they're going to feature their guy. He's an elite running back.
He's going for it all. And it's caught inside the 20. And he's brought down after a huge completion. And the Spartans racing to the line in the hurry-up. Trying to cap this drive with the pass. Fires to the wideout. And he'll take this into the end zone, but hang on just a second. Flag down. Let's see what this is about. Amazing how many times an offensive holding penalty will stall a drive. We'll see if the offense can overcome it. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. The Spartans are threatening in the red zone. On the move, it's Ventura. Working his way and keeping those legs moving, picks up 5 down to the 14. But they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a 1st and goal. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
Great timing by the defense there. Obviously, the offense has the ball in the red zone, and you're trying to create a negative play to back them up. They do that with the sack, and if they're now going to try a field goal, it's going to be a little more work for the kicker.
Now on 4th down, they'll send out the field goal unit. And he'll envision the ball flight as he lines it up from the right hash and 38 yards out. It's good, and that was dead solid perfect. And with that, they break the seal on the scoring. It's 3-0.
This is a team that really prides themselves on starting fast. We've seen that before, and here they are playing at home today. Nice job on the opening drive. Lots of poise, good emotion. They don't get the touchdown they would have liked, but they kick a nice field goal. They've got the lead. The coach has to be happy.
So after putting 3 on the board, the kickoff team is out there ready to boot it away. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. Boy, 3 and out last time, David. They'd like to be more productive this time around.
Yeah, in the last drive, nothing really clicked. No rhythm. Got off the field really, really quickly. They need to put something together here, Cole.
Yeah, David, bad execution on that last drive. So they got to take a collective breath and start playing like a unit on this one.
Stuffed almost in his tracks, but strong enough to pick up 1 to the 35. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. He's looking to throw. Gets it out quickly. And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play. Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on 3rd down. Finds a soft spot in the middle. Brought down to the ground, but he has enough for the 1st down. And the Wolverines have their offense in high gear. They go to the ground. You'll take 4 yards on 1st down every time, 2nd and 6. Off the play fake. And boy, was that pressure in his face immediately. Down he goes.
Play-action pass success has a lot to do with selling that fake. You could tell defense was not buying it, got in the backfield, got the big play.
Let's see what they find in the playbook for 3rd and long from the 43. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. And the pressure is coming in, and they get him again.
And you usually don't bring in dime packages for running teams. You bring in dime because you know they're going to throw the football. You got more speed on the back end to cover, and defensive linemen know they have their job to do. And their job is to go get that quarterback and get that sucker on the ground.
The Wolverines will try to pin them back with the punt. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. They'll get down and put a stop to the return at about the 28-yard line. Michigan State has the ball back, and here comes the offense. They kicked a field goal on the last drive, Jesse. They've got the lead. Don't make a dumb mistake, but maintain your aggressive play call.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think it's the play caller right now just taking a look at that script he's got in front of him and finding out where are my playmakers, who can we take advantage of on this defense to get a touchdown here.
Yeah, and just keep moving the ball down the field. Just execute a little bit better in the red zone. There's no need to panic. We're moving the football, and we got the lead.
Zings it complete to the right. So important to convert these 3rd downs, and they get it done. They'll have it at the 42.
That is going to drive this defensive coordinator nuts. A lot of DCs, they focus a ton of energy on how their unit performs on 3rd down and in the red zone. If this defense gives up a couple more 3rd down conversions like that, they're going to be in for a very unpleasant film session on Monday.
And the Spartans will have it 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Caught near the sticks, it's Dennis. Put it right on him, sweet play, good pickup, and they'll move the chains with the 1st down. New set of downs after that completion. Back to the air one more time. Rolls it in. And they'll bring him down, but not before he picks up the 1st down. The Spartans headed quickly to the line. From the red zone, he's going to throw it. He wants it all. It's incomplete. He was shooting for the end zone right there. After the quarterback and receiver failed to hook up, they'll try it again on 2nd down. The back goes in motion. He's going to pass on 2nd down. It falls incomplete. He was trying to find his man for 6. This drive was clicking along, but after a couple of misfires, threatening to stall out on 3rd and 10. On the run, still looking. Picks up the 1st down and gets down to avoid contact. New set of downs right on the doorstep for this offense. Off play action on 1st down. They're trying to get to it. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
I
think defenses sometimes get frustrated and you want to get blitz happy and because you give up yards. In this day and age, you're going to give up yards. Who cares? This is the area you got to bow up. Nice job on first down stopping them. A couple more downs here to stay aggressive.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. He's looking to throw. With the catch, it's Dennis. Crisp execution in the passing game, and they've got it down to the 3. After settling for 3 on that first drive, you want to give the other side a big momentum boost, a big confidence builder. Kick another one. It's 3rd and goal. And the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line.
Well, that's their 3rd sack of the game, and we knew statistically coming into this game, this is one of the top 25 units in the nation getting after the quarterback. I just love how athletic they are up front, and they are giving this offensive line headaches and nightmares up to this point of the game.
They'll send out the kicker to try to salvage this drive. Smashes it between the uprights. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Guys, 2 very different emotions inside the locker rooms of those top 15 teams who did battle today. Illinois answered the bell away from Champaign today with an impressive victory. The Fighting Illini knew the challenges awaiting them, and they met them head-on. Generally the mark of a really good team. We'll see a lot of games this week, but few will have as much of an impact on the new top 25 poll next week as this one, gentlemen.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. Going up top on first down. Going to throw it to the right. He's got his man. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down. He's going to pass. Tremendous awareness along the sideline and the ability to get the foot down for the big pickup. They think there's room to run to the right here.
Now that's what you're trying to do as a defense. Limit those damages when they run the football. Get them on the ground, short gains to set your defense for positive situations down the road.
The play action fake. He's going to throw deep right side. He wasn't far from taking it to the house, and that'll be the final play of the first quarter. That's the end of the quarter, and Michigan State has the lead. We've played one. Before we move on, let's have a look at the stats. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the second. This first half of offense won't go on the highlight reel so far. Starting to get things moving, it's 1st and 10. He tried to find some running room, but they get him stopped. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. He's looking to throw. Works the middle. And he won't quite get there, but boy, after that pickup, just a few inches to go for the first. An array of possibilities here. On 3rd and short, they'll try to pick it up on the ground here. And he just needed a few inches, and the defense was surly and nasty and said, no, sirree. Here we go with the run on 4th down. And the Wolverines pick up the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. They move the tight end all over. He'll come out throwing on first down. Nobody open. He just throws it away, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Quarterback empties his backfield. On 2nd down, wants to throw. Receiver looks it in. It's complete. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short. Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big 3rd down in the red zone. They'll try to run for it. That just never had a chance as they controlled the middle of the field and stopped him in the backfield on 3rd down. On 4th down, trying to keep the drive alive with the run. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on down. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Pocket starts to collapse. That's reeled in. It's Ventura. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. This offense has a second down play. Off play action. He unleashes a long one. And you just don't expect your junior quarterback to get fooled and to throw it into double coverage like that. Motion trying to get the defense to show his hand. Spits it out to the back. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a fourth down. From midfield, looking for room. Really good job by the coverage team to make the stop, and that's where they'll put it in play. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. You could probably question the decision to pass on a field goal last time, and they came up empty on that previous drive. And he takes it all the way. They couldn't stop him. Touchdown, Michigan!
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
On to attempt the try. And the extra point puts them on top by one. That drive not too taxing on the playbook. One play, put it in the end zone just like that. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. The returner will field it and try to set up his offense in great field position. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. The Spartans have it back on offense, hoping to play some good ball. From the gun, the running back has it. That hole closed quickly, a pickup of 1 to the 15. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. He's looking to throw. Fires and picked off. Touchdown, Wolverines! What a great play by the defense and paying it off with the interception return. What a play by this defense with the pick six.
And how about the defender? Exactly what you're supposed to. Breaks on the football, makes the interception. Everybody on defense, we turn to offense. Go lay some blocks so my guy can get it and take it back to the house.
Ready to try the point after. And they kick it through for the extra point, and they have an 8-point lead. They're about to kick it away, and the defense probably can't wait to get back out there after the pick six. He'll start the return inside his 5. And the returner will be brought down. Michigan State has the ball back, and here comes the offense. The big thing now, don't get rattled by that last pick six, David.
Nah, it was a big mistake. Obviously, the defense took advantage of it, but you got to put it behind you. Jesse, I'm sure you know a thing or two about throwing a pick six and how to rebound.
I believe I've only thrown one in my life, but yes, I do, because of that singular instance. I'll say this. You can't let that click.
And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10. When you have the type of defensive lineman that Michigan has had over the years, you don't always have to send the house to get to the quarterback.
No, it's a beautiful thing when you're a defensive coordinator, when you got big, strong studs like this. Year after year, Michigan always has a stable full of them, of guys that are athletic enough to rush the passer, but physical enough to play the run. It's a fun spot to be in as a DC.
Fires to the middle. Complete downfield. Oh, look out, there he goes. At the 20. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down.
I know it's early in the game, but defensively after that play, you know you have to tackle the catch. When this guy gets the ball in his hands, he is so dangerous after the fact. So it's okay for him to make catches. You just got to get him to the ground quickly.
And guys, the defense's head might be spinning a little bit after giving up that huge gain on the first play. They'll try to get it in with the run. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Spartans!
bringing the extra beef. It's goal line. I know what I'm going to get. I know what I'm going to do. We're going to be bigger, stronger at the point of attack, and push you around, and the running back does the rest and finds the end zone.
Lining up for the PAT. And with the extra point, they cut it to a 14-13 game. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. Here's the return from inside his 10. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. Throws for the tight end. Complete in the middle. Out to the 35-yard line and a little extra breathing room with that 15-yard pickup. From the gun, the ground game. At the 45 on its way. And he found plenty of running room on that one before the defense was finally able to get him down. Give to the running back. Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Got a little work done on first down, now back to the line. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Nothing to do with the football, and he just throws it away. It'll be 3rd down. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. Getting some heat. He's got his man. Nice job to pick up the first down, and they'll spot it at the 42. The Wolverines come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Quickly out to the tight end. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it stands.
Hold it. Open.
Just an obvious holding call there, and one that just kills an offense's momentum. To the ground with the back. And a good, solid pickup before the defense cuts him down. 2nd down coming up. They'll leave it with him. Nice, solid form tackle from this sophomore. Here comes this home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on 3rd down. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Strong pass rush gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46.
And that's now their 3rd sack of the game. This is one of the best units in the entire country getting after the quarterback. They have done such a great job recruiting athletes up front and in their front 7. They can blitz, they can rush you with 4, with 3, but they've got dudes that can beat you one-on-one, and you're seeing that in this game.
And the Wolverines will call on their punt team. And he tried to pin him deep with that punt. Instead, it goes into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20. The Spartans have it back on offense, hoping to play some good ball. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on 1st down. 2nd and 10 here. Fast motion from the offense. On 2nd down, just keeps firing. Got his man. And they pick up just a few on that completion. A 3rd and long coming up here. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires the pass, intercepted. They got him down quickly after the pick, but he'd already made the biggest play, and they've got it at the 38.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. They had to punt it away on their last possession, but man, what great field position this time.
I mean, this is awesome. Like, last possession didn't go great. Now you're set up in an opportunity to get some points. Start thinking about what plays I like, Jesse, as I cross the field.
There are a lot of offensive coordinators out there, David, and in this position, they like to take a shot right away and try and capitalize on this field position.
Working the middle, it's complete. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch. Trying to find his man on first down. No more time to throw. Quarterback is sacked at the 35. It has been said that the other team's quarterback must go down, and he must go down hard, and he did.
And often is good, too. The most you can get to him, but great job by the defense, rushing the quarterback, understanding pass, and getting the big fella on the ground.
They've already racked up big sack numbers. It's starting to snowball, and they are ready to go again. He's looking for a man on second down. Grabs it in the middle. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play call and everyone on the same page here. He's got the tight end. Makes the grab. Defense right there, and they are set up at the 14. The Wolverines look to do some damage in the red zone. They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. Unleashes to the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Michigan.
And I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man, you want to take the lead. You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do it. They finish it with the passing game. And I'll tell you what, keep that passing game up. You can keep this lead, keep the momentum, and keep putting up numbers.
And let's hold on just a minute here as the officials are going to have a second look. And they take another look at the play with the officials on the field to the right, and the play will stand. And with the extra point, it's 21-13. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And they top it off with a 14-yard pass for the touchdown. On the move from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Leaves it with the back. And just wedges it ahead a bit before he's brought down. Typically, you only see this at the end of the game or end of a half. I'm not really sure why we're getting an early peek at victory formation. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Fellas, it's one thing to have a rivalry game, but when you have two longtime foes separated by 65 miles battling for a prize like the Paul Bunyan Trophy, you know emotions tend to run high. And I get it. A lot of coaches will say the difference between winning and losing comes down to stopping big plays and getting big plays. But if you ask me, it's more about how good you are on third down and how efficient you are in keeping drives alive. Those two stats can help you break the will of even the best defenses and help you come out on top. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how the fight between Michigan and Michigan State plays out.
Michigan State has the ball back, and here comes the offense. Maybe adjustments or attitude adjustments. They've got to find a way to run the ball at least some here in the second half.
I do think you said something that's important. I think running the football is an attitude. Like, it starts with the offensive lineman being physical, having a nasty attitude. Running back, same thing. I think they need more of that in the second half.
You know, and I think even if you're this defense, you have an opportunity to make a statement here. Yeah, I know you guys went in at halftime and you riled yourselves up and you told yourself that you think you can run the ball on us. On this very first drive, we're going to prove to you, just like in the first 30 minutes, you cannot.
And he gets a big chunk of yardage to the 34-yard line. The Spartans very efficient with this passing game.
You like that, Reese? You like that? I think so. This is an offense that, listen, when you've got a guy back there that can be efficient, make no mistake, they're going to run the football, but when you get that Kirk Cousins guy, you start to really like the offense.
He wants to pass it on second down. Got his man down the middle. Tackle was made after the first down. And the Spartans come to the line with a new set of downs. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Just too much mustard on that one. Can't miss the target that badly. That last incompletion leaves him with 2nd and 10 from the 23. Off the bootleg, wants to toss it. Pressure is on the way, and the pressure has arrived, and down he goes at the 30.
What a great play. This guy is a force on this D-line. You think about Michigan football defensively, they've got dudes up front. Aiden Hutchinson, Brandon Graham, Mozzie Smith, Rashawn Gary. Guys that can win one-on-one, and guys that change and force your game plan to have to adapt for them. You need to double team these guys if you want to have any chance. This is that type of player. He's got so much ability.
Throws to the tight end. Wide open downfield. Touchdown, Michigan State. That is the ultimate grab and go for the score. Great example of how a second half can really change everything for a team.
No doubt. First half looked bad. It looked like it was bleak. It looked like it was ugly. But now you're starting to get it turned around. And more drives like this is what's needed.
After the touchdown, if they could get this too, we'll have a tie ball game. Trying to pound their way in. He's into the end zone. Two-point conversion is good, and we've got a tie game. After that latest answer tied things up, just about set to kick it away again. He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. David, they'd love to do what they did last time and put this one in the end zone.
You ain't lying. They did a great job. The offense was clicking. Everything went well. Palmer, they executed and got the touchdown.
And they really were in a nice rhythm as well. I'd love to see that here on the next drive, too. Just keep doing what you're...
They stripped it out. Everybody needs a little luck, and the offense just got it by falling on that fumble. And you know the standard is indisputable video evidence, and the officials will change the call.
I think one of the hardest things to do is stick to the run when it's not working. But it's those runs right there that are the reason why you have to do it, right? You can't get too one-dimensional. Keep slipping those runs in there. Keep getting a little bit of positive yards. Next thing you know, you look up and you might break one of those if you got them a little bit tight.
Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on third down. It's complete to the left. And they gave him no chance to get loose, and they force a fourth down. And the Wolverines will bring the punt team onto the field. Fourth time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. On the return, it's Thomas. He'll get it to about the 25 before they put a stop to the return. The Spartans have it back on offense, hoping to play some good ball. Off the play fake on first down to throw. And he'll chuck it into the cheap seats there and save the down. Nobody getting open there. After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. Fires left. Right on the money to the outside. He dragged the toe, and how about the ball placement? Only the receiver could get it. Gonna run it. It's Ventura. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. Here comes the offense on 2nd down. They'll run it from the gun. Just sort of a relentless run, getting everything that was available to him, and they'll mark him down at the 40. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. Steps away to find some room. And this looks disastrous. Oh, down he goes. A huge loss on that play.
And if your job is to irritate, to confuse, to hit, to make quarterbacks feel very uncomfortable, this defense is definitely doing their job. 6 sacks, that's the way to make the quarterback feel like he's having a hard day. He's had no response. This offensive line has no response, just a sack party.
4th down, and the punt team sends it the other way. A fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. Takes a handoff, and he's going right. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there. From the shotgun, they'll run it. They get him on the ground, but it's a first down. They've got it 1st and 10 at the 50. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. And the tackle was made, but there has been a flag thrown.
Offense.
They say you could call holding on every play. Well, they did on that one. Movement here from the tight end. Power football with the run. And he's able to shed one tackle and pick up pretty good yardage. And here comes the offense on second down. Wide receiver now comes in motion. He wants to throw here on second down. Finds the tight end. And he might be known for run fits, but that was a sure and heavy tackle on the tight end. Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Get it out on the screen. Makes the grab, and it's enough for the first down before he's dragged to the ground. The Wolverines are flying down the field. The running back has it. And he'll pick up one. It brings up 2nd and 9. Win with the running game on first down, now back at it. They'll run play action. Got his man on the outside. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play. On third and long, he has to throw for it. Pressure coming. Just too much of a rush, and down goes the quarterback just behind the midfield stripe at the 49.
Man, that's a great example of KYP. Know your personnel. A QB that doesn't run great, trying to get outside the pocket. Nice job by the defense applying pressure and running him down and getting the huge loss.
And the Wolverines send out the punt unit. They may have to pay him overtime. He's punting for the 5th time today. Maybe one notch of adrenaline too much on the punt there. It hits about a yard deep in the end zone. It'll come out to the 20. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Good, solid, determined run there. They'll mark him down at the 27. Good spot after that 7-yard pickup on first down. It's 2nd and 3. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. That play just never had a chance. They knock him down for a loss of 5. On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Got it in the middle. It's Clark. And they'll get it to the 39-yard line, and they'll move the chains. They're going back to the ground.
Hey, 5 to 6 yards a pop. I don't know if you guys are really good at math, but that usually equals a first down every couple carries. So don't forget about the run game. Keep them honest, pound that rock.
They fought tooth and nail through 3, and it is all locked up as we take a look at the stats. This is when winning plays are made, and we start right now in the 4th. And now on second down for this offense. They're bringing heat. And the quarterback was trying to extend the play, and the defense brought it to a close.
The defense has been so dominant up front. You've seen it in these passing situations. That now the 7th sack of the game.
Third down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. From the gun, wants to pass. Feeling some heat. And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again.
Yeah, and the defensive line, you know, third and long situations, I'm rushing the quarterback. You bring in the nickel, a little bit more speed on the field, and the defensive line gets home and gets the sack on third down.
The Spartans will punt it away on 4th down. Let's see if he can help the coverage team out with this one. Fair catch, called for and made. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. They just didn't quite find the rhythm on that last drive, Jesse. They had to punt it.
I think they got to be more physical, David. I think up front they got to do a better job getting blocks and establishing this run.
And how easy does football become if you're the more physical team? If you can threaten the run and then run play action, it opens up the whole offense at your disposal.
Makes the catch. He's out of bounds, but not before picking up enough for the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looking to go up top on first down. Fires to the big fella. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. That last completion sets him up on second down. Quickly complete. And that play just never got started as he's run out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. Shotgun snap on third down. Takes the easy one to the back. The Wolverines will punt this one away. They're up to half a dozen kicks today. Bringing it back, it's Thomas. They'll get down and put a stop to a return at about the 28-yard line. Michigan State has the ball back, and here comes the offense. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. And this veteran quarterback just overshot his man that time. And the incompletion brings up a second down. He's looking to throw. A strike downfield. And they'll finally catch up to him, but not before a big chunk of yardage is picked up.
And man, this quarterback has had a day. With that pass, he goes over 300 yards on the day. Really nice job executing, putting up some yards today. Pretty good day for the young man.
And I think they'll give him 2 on that one, 2nd and 8 coming up. Kept it on the ground on first down, now back to the line. Right back to it. He just slips and slides his way down to the 42. Looking to help the kicker out on third down. From here, it would be a 59-yard attempt. Now the play fake. Looking down the middle. Makes a connection. And it is a chunk play. A huge gain on that one before the defense brings it to an end. On the run, it's Ventura. Pushing ahead, a tough run. Picks up 4. It's down at the 15. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. He's looking to throw. He's got him still on his feet. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall. Off the play fake on first down. Pressure's there, and he lets it go. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Forges ahead for 1 to the 8-yard line. A huge chance for points here on 3rd and goal, and if they can get it in, we might have ourselves a finish. Looking to scramble. They move on top here in the 4th. Just blinding speed. Speed that almost paralyzes defenders.
When you got a quarterback with that much speed, you got to find tricky ways to put more speed on the field, spy the quarterback with somebody that's really, really fast. And even when you do, a lot of times he still makes plays because he's that dang fast and that explosive.
He'll try to tack on one more. The extra point is good, and now in the 4th, they're up by a touchdown and an extra point. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Boys, if it's happening in college football, we've got eyes on it. Check this out. USC is currently working from behind, but in front of a packed Coliseum, anything is possible. That fight song, those uniforms, momentum can change quickly. It's a tight one right now. They're trailing by only 5 to Arizona. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business. Gentlemen?
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. And that pass will be jarred loose on second down. That brings up third down. Off the bootleg and rolling out. And they get the sack right out of the gate.
Man, I think this quarterback needs to take his offensive line out for dinners more often because they're not protecting him. And sometimes it doesn't even look like they're trying. That now the 6th sack of the game for this defense.
And the Wolverines will line up to punt it away. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. The Spartans have it back on offense, hoping to play some good ball. Man, what a drive last time for the touchdown. That passing attack was lethal, David.
And you know, you hear all these stupid commentators like me and Jesse talking about create balance, run and pass. No, when you throw that good, spin the ball around.
So the defense has to find a way to affect the quarterback on this drive because last drive he had way too much time to throw.
Looking to the big tight end. Complete to the right. No, he loses the ball after the huge gain. Oh, the offense very fortunate to fall on that football. So the officials take a closer look and the replay booth will overturn the call. And there is nothing doing on that one. You got the completion and nothing else to show for it. Off the boot, looking for his man. Throws to the wideout. Got his man downfield. He's there to make the stop, but not before he sets up this offense. First and goal from the 7. He's looking to throw. He caught it. They've got it down to the 3-yard line. Really well done on that throw and catch. Now on second down, they want to keep moving forward and keep that clock churning. Marches ahead. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. We've reached the 2-minute warning in this offense, trying to milk this clock and keep time on their side. Trying to push their way into the end zone on third and goal. Just hammer it with this running back again, and he noses his way into the end zone. They give themselves a little more cushion as they try to reel off their 4th straight win.
And late in the games, offenses sometimes get conservative when they got the lead and they got the ball. I love this offense. They were aggressive. They got another score added to the lead. Now you're trying to salt this game away.
And the extra point is true, and they have a 2-touchdown lead, up 14 in the 4th. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. Their drive chart is starting to look a little monotonous. Punt, 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 David.
And their defense is starting to get a little frustrated, too. They just keep putting me back on the field, possession after possession. Jesse, this offense needs to get their heads out of there, you-know-what.
The punter's on the sideline with the oxygen mask right now. He's been playing so much. He's not used to this. This offense, they just got to stay on the field. They've got to put a drive together and get some balance going, running and throwing the ball.
He's taking a deep shot late in the game. Hits him inside the 20, still going. Slippery slide, find his way and ran away from the crowd into the end zone. Touchdown, Wolverines.
Yeah, and that's step one. Great job by this offense getting in the end zone. Now you got to go get the stop. You got to get the football back. You got to find a way to do something to create a turnover, get an onside, to get the football back, to get back in this football game.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And the PAT will draw them 1 point closer. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. Trailing by a touchdown here in the 4th. They'll try to get it back with the onside kick. The 40! Michigan State has the ball back, and here comes the offense. These are the games. These are the moments. This is the opportunity for the finish that people remember in rivalries like this.
And those highlights that are shown for years and years to come. These big-time moments, Palmer, coming down to the wire, who steps up and makes the big-time play.
And this is why you lift the weights in the offseason. This is why you do all the gassers and all the sprints. For moments like this, game on the line in one of the biggest games of the year.
We've got a timeout on the field, a tight game in the fourth, and the Brain Trust will go to work. Finds his tight end. Finds a crease at the 20. Really confident throw and catch there. Big pickup, and they have a first down. Running out the clock, a mere formality between them and a victory as we have victory formation coming. And it looks as if the offense will just take a knee. This is why the passion of college football runs so deep. The rivalries, and when you lose, man, does it stick with you.
No doubt about it, Reese. This was a game circled for a very, very long time. They knew how important this one was. But, David, you can't let games like this beat you twice because this losing team now has to find a way to rebound and go out and play again.
No doubt, got to rebound, but this one stings. This is the one that you have circled for a reason. It's a rival, it's bragging rights, but you're right. Let's get back to practice this next week. Let's start focusing. This one's over, but I'm going to get you next year.
That's going to do it for us from here. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.